Legend NBA analyst, Mr. Charles Barkley. Good morning to you, sir. I really appreciate you joining us.
Of course, Don. Thank you guys for having me.
Why so outspoken, especially when it comes to this issue? You know, even as someone who you're covering sports, but you're speaking out about issues that have to do with culture and society. Why so outspoken about this?
Well, Don, I don't like that word outspoken because I hope anybody who sees racism in any form whatsoever should stand up, whether it's against a black person, a Hispanic person, a Jewish person, Asian. Asian hate's going a big deal in this country right now. So anybody should try to do the right thing. If you see something wrong when it comes to race or homophobic or sexist, you should always say something. So, I'm always going to do that. I don't care about the repercussions. If I see something wrong happening, Don, I'm going to say something.
How do you think the league should deal with it? Because, listen, he's still on suspension, but how do you think the league should deal with it? The reason I ask is because, you know, everyone is speaking out about it. Kyrie Irving is facing, you know, what he's facing. But the league let him go for a long time. They sort of are forcing him to apologize, but what if these are his real beliefs? Should they be dealing with that as well? Maybe they have someone who actually believes these things. I'm not saying it's right. Instead of forcing him to apologize, maybe they should be dealing with that part of it.
Actually, that's a great question, Don. People have the right to feel and say what they want to. We have freedom of speech, but there are repercussions when you say certain things. Listen, I don't know Kyrie Irving. I don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. I think he's been suspended, rightfully so, and I think he should come back and play in the NBA. But, you know, that's a really slippery slope because, you know, people always talk about freedom of speech, freedom of effect, you say whatever you want to, but there are repercussions. I mean, and he's paying for that right now, but this thing with free speech has really gotten out of hand, Don. I mean, you just can't go around insulting people and think it's okay just because it's freedom of speech.
Well, people say, well, listen, if I don't get to say what I say, it's cancel culture. And I don't know if you probably do not agree with that.
You know, I don't like using the term cancel culture because I don't want anybody counsel. But you should be called to the carpet if you said something wrong. You know, I don't believe somebody should lose their job or things like that. But you should be called out if you said something stupid. Hey, I've been called out many times, and I have no problem with that. But I hate the term cancel culture because very few people are canceled. Let's be honest and realistic.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can I ask something real quick that I didn't think? Did you? Maybe you didn't see it, so you might not be able to answer. Did you see SNL? Did you see Dave Chappelle, his monologue?
I did not,
Yeah.
but listen, let me just say this. I'm a Dave Chappelle fan. I have a really strict line on racism, sexism, homophobic, things like that. It's just wrong. It's nothing to joke about. It's a very serious subject. You know, Don, it's crazy. I'm almost 60 years old, and I grew up in Alabama, you know, and obviously I know about Montgomery, Selma, Birmingham, things like that. To still be having racial conversations 60 years later, and we're debating whether people have the right to say it and joke about it, is really, it just makes me sad.
Yeah.
It makes me mad, but it really just makes me sad that 60 years later, we're still having racial conversations 60 years later.
And more than a decade ago, I do have to say, and then I'll let you guys jump in here because I don't want to hog the conversation. One of the first people to contact me after I came out was this man right here. And that was over a decade ago. So these issues are really important to you, and you always stand up for people's individual rights.
Well, you know, Don, first of all, one thing that always has disturbed me as a black person, which really bothers me about the Kyrie Irving situation and the Kanye West situation, first of all, being black in America is already hard enough. And for us to go at other ethnic groups just makes things worse because it's hard enough being black. And one thing that's always disappointed me, black people treat gay people, we are the worst when it comes to treating gay people. And that's one thing growing up, it really always bothers me. And I want to reach out to you and all my gay friends, all my transgender friends, and tell you, man, I got nothing but love and respect for you. I want you to be you. And I wanted you to know that day, because I understand being black, what it's like being gay, because you get mistreated, and it's really unfortunate and sad and stupid, to be honest with you.